Hello everyone, my name is Sarafi and I'm happy to meet you all. And today we are going to join the glorious revolution because Viktor has been announced as a new Path of Champions character in Legends of Runeterra. That's fantastic. Viktor was the last real arcane champion to not be added, other than Singed, who I assume was cut from December because they're working on upgrading all their champions, which is completely fine. Viktor is already in the game, of course, so him being added as a real Path of Champions character is very exciting. Let's take a look and see what we've got here. So here's his deck. He's got Forge Chief, 1 mana, 2/1, strike, refill 1 spell mana. Ballistic Bot, 2 mana, 1/3 with Augment, and round start create an ignition in hand. Augment is a keyword that says when you play a card that was created as opposed to starting in your deck, then the unit gets +1 attack permanently. So Ballistic Bot has Augment, and it also creates a card every single turn for you to trigger Augment. And the card that it creates is a 0 mana sorcery spell that deals 1 damage to the enemy nexus. Perfectly serviceable. Next up we have Clump of Wumps. Clump of Wumps is a 2 mana 2/2. When I'm summoned, create a Mushroom Cloud in hand. Mushroom Cloud is a 1 mana spell that shuffles a mushroom, 5 mushrooms into your opponent's deck. That's excellent. So that'll be another trigger for Augment really easily. Then we have Iterative Improvement, 2 mana burst spell. Pick a follower from either side of the field. Create a copy of it in your hand that has +1/+1. Excellent. Viktor also has synergy with created followers, and we'll see that in a second. Then we have Boom Baboon, which is a 2 mana 2/1. When I'm summoned, create a Flame Chompers in hand. Flame Chompers is a 1 mana 0/2, I want to say. It's either 1 or 2 mana. It's a 0/2 with Challenger that says when I'm discarded, summon me. So that's another created card. That's great. Then we have Neandroid. Neandroid is a 3 mana 1/3 with Elusive and Augment. So that's a very dangerous threat. Aftershock, obviously, that's Viktor's spell. 3 mana slow spell. Deal 3 to a unit or destroy a landmark. Excellent. And then lastly, we have Mechanized Mimic, which is a 5 mana 3/4 with Augment. Attack, grant me all keywords on all allies. So if, for example, you have Mechanized Mimic attack and you have Neandroid with Elusive, then Mechanized Mimic also gains Elusive before your opponent can declare blockers. Pretty useful effect. Okay. So, just looking at the deck real quick, let's hypothesize what everything will get. So Forge Chief got Shadow Totem for Viktor, or sorry, for Jace, and that was really good. I kind of doubt that it'll get the same effect, so I'm guessing that Forge Chief is probably going to get, let's say Studded Leather. Yeah, they like to give Studded Leather to 1-drops. So yeah, Forge Chief probably going to be a 1 mana 3/2 with Strike, recover, refill 1 spell mana. Ballistic Bot. Ballistic Bot is one of Viktor's cards. That card's definitely going to get 2 items. I'm guessing probably, I mean, the best one would be Spirit Stone. When I'm summoned, create a copy of me in hand. Because, I mean, everyone associates Viktor at this point with the monthly challenges where he has natural power. And so he, can play Ballistic Bot infinite times. So it would be cool if we could do that too. So yeah, Spirit Stone, and then probably Giant Spells. Yeah. Spirit Stone and Giant Spells. So you have a bunch of 1/5s that just charge themselves up like crazy. Clump of Wumps. Clump of Wumps will get Shadow Totem, I bet. Yeah, so 2 mana, summon 2/2s, and they both give you a Mushroom Cloud. But Warwick has that effect as well, and it works just fine. Iterative Improvement. This is going to get Mana Potion. So it'll be 1 mana, and it'll create a copy of in your hand that's hopefully cheap, and then you can play that. Echo has this with Tear of the Goddess, but that's broken, to be honest. Boom Baboon. 2 mana 2/1. When I'm summoned, create a Flame Chompers in hand. Philosopher's Stone. Yeah. They always put Philosopher's Stone on something, so this will be a 2 mana 2/1 that draws you a card. Neandroid is going to get Phage for sure. So Neandroid is another one of Viktor's primary cards. This will get Phage, so it'll be a 3/5. Yeah, that'll be fine. Aftershock, for Viktor, Aftershock will probably get Charging Sigil 2. So it'll deal 2 extra damage. And then it'd be really cool if it got Doubling Dice. I don't know that they would do that. Like, I haven't seen Doubling Dice on any Path of Champions deck yet, but it fits so well for Viktor to, like, have Aftershock just cast over and over and over again. So it'd be really cool if it got Doubling Dice. So we'll see what its other upgrade is going to make. And the Mechanized Mimic will probably get either Ancient Coin or Nomad's Medallion, depending on how much they want to push it. Okay, those are the cards. Let's take a look at the star powers. Technological Leap. Allies with Augment have +1/+1. Excellent. That's really good. So, and then we have Technological Leap 2, which is allies with Augment have +1/+1, and your Augment grants an additional +0/+1. So that's very similar to Pike. So when you trigger Augment, your Augment units will get +1/+1 as opposed to +1 attack. That's insane. That's a very, very beneficial effect. Obviously, Viktor himself has Augment as well, so this is going to buff your champion and your cards very, very well. Next up, we have March of the Machines. +1 starting mana. When you summon a created unit, granted Augment. So anytime that you create a unit for any reason, you get Augment on that unit. It makes me pretty sad that we don't have the 1 mana Yordle spell that discards a card and creates 2 elusive Yordles in hand, but I guess that would be too good. They probably tested that, to be honest, and because the Boom Baboons needs a card to discard the Flame Chompers, so they probably had the Yordle spell at one point, and they probably thought it was too broken. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but maybe it'll be a card that you can very easily get, because it is a Piltover and Zon card, so hopefully it's like heavily weighted in his pool and you get it most of the time. Spellburn. When you play a spell, deal 1 to the enemy nexus. Excellent. That has great synergy with the Incinerate spell that you get every round. So you can just pay 1 mana to deal 2 and then buff all your Augment units by +1/+1. Mana Flow. Game starts, get a mana gem. That's the same for everything. And then lastly, we have Power Surge. Legendary power has a 6-star. When you play a created spell or a created unit, copy it. Now, this is what I'm talking about. So a created spell or a created unit. So if you can, obviously, Viktor creates Hex Cores in his hand, so you'll get to trigger the Hex Core twice every single time that you use a Hex Core. And you also get, if you play a created unit, like for example, if you summon the Flaming Chompers, you'll get 2 Flaming Chompers. If you play the Ignition in your hand, you'll burn for 4, because you'll deal 1 damage. Then you'll deal 1 damage from Spellburn. Then you'll copy it. You'll deal 1 damage, and you'll deal 1 damage from Spellburn. Same with the Clump of Wumps. If you summon the Clump of Wumps and you play the Mushroom Cloud, you're going to burn your opponent for 2 and shuffle 10 mushrooms into their deck. So, and then if you play Iterative Improvement on your Clump of Wumps, then you'll summon 2 Clump of Wumps, and they'll each give you 1, and you'll play both of them, and you'll shuffle 4 mushrooms, and you'll deal 5 damage because you played 5 spells. So, really, really cool that this is all kind of flexing together. I really like it. So I think that the powers are excellent. I wouldn't change any of these, except I would probably, if I was Riot, I would just give us Evolution, to be honest. Because Spellburn is cool, but Evolution is just really, really broken. But I understand that Evolution is probably too powerful, even though it's perfectly on flavor for Viktor. Now, so let's look at Viktor's other stuff. So we have some information. So Perfect Hex Core. Round start, create a Hex Core upgrade in hand. Your Hex Core upgrades have Stopwatch and can upgrade any ally. That's insane. So this is a very, very powerful relic. You should play this on, like, everybody. Because it's a 0 mana spell that will give any ally a keyword. Now on Viktor, it'll cast twice if you have his epic relic, or sorry, his legendary power. But for everyone else, I mean, this is just free keywords. And it also triggers, like, card casting synergies. It triggers Augment. You play this on Heimerdinger. You can play this on Jinx. You can play this on Nami. It'd be insane on Nami because you want extra spells every round. This would be good on Vi. This is just like an insane relic. This is like the best relic we've gotten in ages. I would say this relic is almost as good as Beast Within. And that's a high bar to clear. So yeah, this is one I'm definitely going to spend money on. And then also at level 4, Hex Core upgrade starts with Stopwatch. So even if you don't get the relic, on Viktor at least, you will still get Stopwatch on your Hex Core upgrade. And Stopwatch, of course, means that it's burst speed, so that it can't be interrupted and doesn't take up your action. So great. I am looking forward to this. This looks really good. I think that Viktor is going to be a very powerful champion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. My name is Serafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.